Come on, that's gonna be one of the best ones, right?
Well, we're
one
out
of the
here at
best ones.
7200 Hill.
Yeah, you can shut that off.
This is 48.
We got to use that a lot more for like other stuff. We should just like do that every time we do a video, like on a farm or ranch thing.
Use something else.
Yeah. All right. We're gonna go ahead and just record a quick little episode here, everybody. I'm doing that from the last thing we did.
Oh, right. Yeah, Paul calling in.
Paul called in. We got Cleto and Quinn in the studio, and we're just gonna go ahead and do a little introduction here because we already did a. Oh, there! I see. I got my hand in the way.
Yeah.
We already did a cat's out of the bag, pretty much. We made a video with him, and then we didn't introduce him in the video. Our audio was terrible, so I figured we'd get everybody in the studio and just kind of let you guys hear their stories a little bit. If you're interested in these two new guys you're seeing around, Quinn was actually in the Cara Lane video.
I was an extra.
Yeah.
I was a set extra.
You got actually shown though in it, right?
The bloopers.
In the
and
bloopers?
You might have seen me for like a clip, like a little.
Quinn was the sound guy.
Yeah, for like a couple seconds in there I was.
So you can go and look that up on the YouTubes.
Yeah.
Cara Lane, that's one of the cooler ones. But we also have Cleto Anderson, and so it's Cleto and Quinn today. And welcome, I guess. I don't know. We've been working together for a couple months now, but we're like, we got to figure out.
We're gonna go public.
Yes, it is time.
Make this public. So, anyways, I actually have a little exercise for you guys.
Yeah, we're gonna do a little questionnaire here.
Yeah. Well, I got a thing. I got a thing for you. I gotta open this up with.
Is this like an end of the year work review?
Kind of.
Are we done?
That was it.
I just wanted to do this and see if I can. All right, boys. So I'm going to go ahead and show you a couple images on a screen here. And on this screen, I want you to tell me in each one of these slides what it is. Now, Quinn, I want the audience to see your guys' faces when I'm doing this. Okay. And then when we get done, that's like a therapist's office, you know?
And then we'll show the audience the pictures.
Yeah. And then we'll show the audience the pictures, and I'll just edit them in later on. But right now I'm just gonna go ahead and show you everything, and then let me see if I can get this slideshow going here.
Oh, all right. Here we go.
Hold on now.
Oh, I forgot to fill up my coffee mug before we start recording. That's fine. There's still a little in there from yesterday.
Ooh, nice coffee.
A little nice. Well, that's a little gross. That was yesterday at 12 o'clock.
No, it's the same idea as chili. If it's in the crock pot, it never goes bad.
That's right.
Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and... I don't know how to
I've seen you eat pizza out of a wet cooler before. Don't ever come to me with that again.
That's all how you dry it.
Okay, so I have the...
Or wring it out or whatever it was. It was pretty bad.
It was a multi-action maneuver.
Okay.
You got some photos for
Yeah,
us?
I got them, and then I'm going to show them to you. But I can't, for some reason, I can't do the slideshow thing, so I'm just going to go ahead and cycle through them, okay?
Okay.
So we're just going to go ahead and go here. You guys can see them? Can everybody see it?
Yes.
See the photos?
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and...
all of them, or are we looking at...
Yeah, so we're just going to you're just going to go to the side, and you're just going to tell me what you see every single time.
Okay.
Okay, all right?
Yeah.
So what do you see in the very first one that's highlighted? It's over here.
That's money.
Looks like some money there.
Looks like
Hundreds.
some cash.
Hundreds? You see hundreds? Okay. All right, what's the next one?
Still money.
Still money.
Still
Benjamins.
a lot of cash there.
Okay, how much cash you think is in that picture?
That one of those stacks of hundreds. My friends that work at a bank could probably tell me.
Okay, what about the next one?
It's a couple more $100 bills.
Okay, yeah.
Good.
What about you? Couple more hundreds?
Well, I got...
You don't think there's thousands in these photos?
I got an interruption.
Oh, is that
here.
Yeah, we're looking past the mic.
Yeah,
the
we're
audience
going-
can't tell.
Sorry.
We're going through...
Yeah, if you could bring your mic up and...
I will.
Perfect.
I will.
Okay, so that is 1,000... No, it's a $100 bill.
Okay.
There's a couple of them.
Okay.
Yeah, it's Benjamins.
Benjamins.
Okay. I've
Lots
seen
of
Benjamins.
hundreds. Yeah.
Yeah, there's another fan of Benjamins there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Very nice.
Cleto, you want to take this one?
Oh, this could be tricky. Are those hundreds?
Yeah, they're more hundreds.
More money. Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
All right. So go ahead and you can put it
let's
back
go
on
to
me,
this
Quinn.
Next two.
Okay.
Oh, man, that was
Yeah,
like a
you can
hot
go back.
lot.
Yeah,
Go back to me.
Warming up.
All right, guys. So
It's like that time I put the round peg in the round hole and it finally clicked.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
There you go. So I just showed everybody the photos I'm going to edit in here. But as you go through the photos on the screen that you guys will see, I had a photo of some of Quinn's friends, I had a photo of some of Quinn's family.
Oh my god.
I had some of Cleto's friends from church on there. And I saw there's a couple of Cleto's friends from work. And I mean, these guys are ready for real estate.
That's a nice joke setup.
That was beautiful.
How long did you think about that one?
That was great.
They see nothing but money, so they're ready.
Wow.
They see nothing but money.
I think they told me in
all
our
their
introduction meeting, you need to raise the level of how people see realtors. You know, so
Right,
people see us
exactly.
as respectable professionals. But apparently that's not what we're doing here.
No.
Very transparent.
I mean, it was just like, and you guys were so like, you knew how many, like, you were like, there's a couple hundreds there. Like, you put values on people's faces.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm going to
there's
sneak real
thousands.
fun. Remember,
That's
I
wild.
edit these, so you
So
can't lie to the audience.
I'm going to show everybody what you guys are actually looking at. And it was just people.
Just make us look like scumbags right out of the gate, huh?
nice.
I could have done that myself without your help.
Yeah, I think we're pretty good.
So that's all it takes over at the Goggins Company to make
handle
sure we can hire these guys. If they just see money in their closest relationships, then
Yeah, by the way, I put a toothpick in your shoe, so
cool.
that was not a joke. It's really, you should get that out before you walk.
Oh, he'll
No,
find
but-
it tomorrow.
In all seriousness, I just want to get these guys in the studio so that
Cheap
we could kind of introduce these guys. I've worked with both Quinn and Cleto for many years. Quinn, believe it or not, we go way back, probably at least 23 years.
Yeah, for me.
When Quinn and I first met.
Yeah. Yeah,
But you can remember.
I came on the scene a couple years ahead of him, but
Had to break trail.
I had some great networking groups going on, and then all of a sudden I was just like, hey man, welcome to the world.
Here to capitalize.
Get your suitcase, let's go.
Yeah.
So, anyways, and then Cleto and I, we worked. We met at a branding a long time ago, and I had a foldable Stetson, or crushable Stetson hat.
Oh,
And you remember that? It was out at.
at a pretty hot party, I think. We had some things really.
really cooking. When were you there for that?
I don't think I was. No.
We
Wait,
were-
whose branding was it?
Well, we were out at undisclosed location, but we both know them. Ben and Pam. We'll just say the first names. And then we were out at their place,
Yeah.
and they had some calves out there, but they weren't their
No,
calves. They were Rod's calves, right?
There was more than that. There was. We were actually. I think those were. We were also branding the cows, and
Oh,
that's
wow.
where it was kind of an exciting adventure.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
wasn't there for that
We
one.
were kind of pushing the limits on the shoot, and
And then the limits on what was flammable and what was.
No, that was a different time.
No, that was this time.
yeah,
What? Was
Yeah,
it?
that was the first
Yeah,
time I
they
met Cleto.
they
I
were
think.
branding those. Yeah, they
Oh,
were
so I
branding-
was there.
Branding
I guess.
calves, I think.
Okay.
There might have been calves and cows, and it was kind of the cows ran
I
through
thought
the
it was-
chute.
Yeah, we were doing some. Well, they might have been. I think they were like heifers or something.
Yeah, I think that's what it was.
And we were shooting a little. What is that stuff?
Timing is
Louser.
everything.
Yeah.
So,
You brand.
So
go
there's-
ahead. Go ahead. Let it set it up. Set up the song. We have Cleto in the studio.
there's, it's timing. I mean, you gotta watch when you brand and when you pour on. So when you,
And for those that don't know, pour on is dewormer, correct?
Yeah, delouser. Yeah,
Yep,
delouser.
that, or yeah, exactly.
fly
And
stuff.
And you
And-
literally just pour it on
fly
the backs.
repellent. Yeah.
you pour it on their back, and then the generic stuff is alcohol based. So if you're branding,
With the hot iron.
you probably want to brand first and then apply the
And then delouse later.
pour on later. Yes.
Instead
If you
of,
do it before, it's pretty exciting.
Catalytic.
yeah,
Yes,
it's a big ball of flame.
Yeah, there's some padding, and
We were putting out calves. Like, why are they all on fire?
it's like stop, drop, and roll, but not quite. Throw something on them.
It came out all right, though. That was
they were
fine.
fine. It was a little
No
bit
animals
singed
were
hair.
harmed.
No.
it
We
was
put
just-
them out pretty quick.
It's like lighting your eyebrows on fire. They'll grow back.
There was. It took a couple of times
like
to
singeing
set
your
the
beard.
timing right because
Yeah.
we had over eager pour on.
Well, it's an assembly line, and we just got the assembly.
We
a
should
little
probably
backwards.
keep him
Yeah.
nameless. Let's just
Yes.
Yeah.
save the
Yes.
innocent or
Save the
ignorant or innocent. He knows who he is.
He knows who he
He
is.
knows what he
When he
did.
goes to listen to this.
I don't know if he's quite ready for. Yeah. Anyways,
Yeah.
so yeah.
Yeah, that's how we met, and that was it was a good time. We did a little custom harvesting together, farming, a little bit of ranching. Kind of ran up and back and forth. Cleto was sneaking me out of school.
I think I dropped somebody off one time. It was kind of like,
yeah. That's how I got my street smarts. My
skipping school is good for you.
Cowboy smarts. I think it is too. Yeah.
I don't think I got you to skip, but I dropped you off. Maybe
you dropped me off. Caleb was definitely picking me up. I remember Caleb picking me up like on a Wednesday. You guys picked me up on a Wednesday, and us taking off in a extended cab pickup up to Malta one day. Malta. Yeah.
We picked you up in the dark. It was like 4:30 or something. It was early.
Maybe. Yeah, it was early. So I hadn't even gone to school yet. That's right.
Or something. It was dark.
I think
it was
I
either
slept in
morning
my
or
car
night.
the night before.
Yeah, it's like, oh, darn,
Yeah,
he's here. All right, get in the car.
Meet me at the gas station. Oh, I slept here.
Yeah. The second shift. Oh, okay.
Yep.
We
That was
left
it.
your
I literally
machine there.
grabbed my saddle out of the trunk and threw it in the back of the pickup, and we took off for like 3 days.
It works.
Yeah, it was sweet. It was a good time. But anyways, we just had to get these guys in the studio, talk a little bit about them, and get you guys kind of familiarized with them. These are two of the best salesmen that have never been salesmen.
Raw to the field, baby. Raw talent coming at you.
Yeah.
Wow.
So we gotta.
There's many ways in life you can sell something. And it's not always a product.
Yeah. So we got a serious questionnaire here. I mean, you boys ready to jump into this, or do you want to just talk a little about yourselves and give us some ideas on what you want to do with real estate? What's your main goal here? And you can't just say the money. We figured that out.
Yeah, we got that.
You see money and everything.
Thanks for that. Really appreciate it.
That was such a good setup.
Couldn't really go wrong there.
You
got spoon fed on that.
A little forced questionnaire. What was your original questionnaire? What were you?
Oh well, I just had a couple worked up here, so I figured I'd put these out here. So
Should we do these? Yeah.
Yeah, I'll start with them.
Oh.
So
Exciting.
We'll jump in here. I sent these guys an email. I was like, hey, I gave them the questions ahead of time, and we'll see if it was, they're kind of stressful questions. We'll see how it goes, and then I'll give a little talk up about what I'm thinking.
Gotta learn how to check those emails.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Tricky one.
We're gonna have to work on that.
Yes.
Well, the problem is mine are mingled, so I can't tell if I'm getting them on my personal or my business one.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. All right. Some podcast cues and motivators. So what we're trying to do here at the Goggins Company, in all seriousness, is actually kind of have a little bit of structure and routine. So we're just the beginning stages of building up our real estate team. And Zach and I have been running it for a couple of years now. And because we have some volume coming in, and we really want to go after kind of farm and ranch stuff, Cleto was kind of one of the first guys we wanted to bring on, just because he has so much, knows so many people, has been in the field literally for so many years. Just great for meeting people and talking to people and just like a good, reliable guy that's always been there for years. So he was great to bring onto the team, and we're just really excited to have him on for that reason. And then when it comes to the residential stuff, Quinn was really super charismatic, and he was really excited about just figuring out how to use more of his social skills, soft skills, and everything like that. He kind of comes from doing some construction the last couple of years, so it's kind of a perfect time to get both these guys into it. So that's kind of what we're doing, and that's why we're working on the structure a little bit, so that we can figure out how we can actually make this functioning team pays people's bills.
Our favorite joke about really good farm and ranch real estate people? They're outstanding in their field.
Oh,
they are that.
Boom. All right, so I'm gonna hit this first one.
Good.
This one here, right here for you boys. It's a big old soft pitch, maybe not. What is your number one motivator for working in real estate? Beep in. Go ahead. You have 10 seconds.
10 seconds. Gee whiz.
Oh, wow.
Number one motivator? I mean, we already made the money joke, but honestly, knowledge, I would say for me, knowledge is power. So the more you learn about the ins and outs of how this business works, the more successful you can be. You can apply it everywhere. Yeah. Just being able to know how these deals get put together grants you skills in other areas of life. Yeah. Negotiation skills is a big thing we talk about. Not being afraid to get out there. Say you see somebody doing something cool that you just want to learn more about. If you do this for work, you're never afraid to just go, hey, I saw you doing this thing. I want to know about it. I want to talk about it. Let's talk about it. So it opens a lot of doors, I feel like. And I mean, the money joke was already there, but just personal success. Everyone these days wants to own land and live out. We're still searching the American dream. I know on this team we are.
Yeah.
And so being a real estate agent allows you to learn that process and be successful at it and know how to navigate it well.
Yeah.
And set yourself up for success later down the road and other things you might want to pursue.
Yeah, it's just high ticket sales. I feel like when I got into real estate, I wasn't overly passionate about it. I was like, I'm going to own real estate at one point. I'm going to use that as a vehicle at some point, for investment opportunity, everything. And look, I need to learn how to interact and go through and market myself and carry through with the sale and everything. So that's kind of how I was thinking about it. I was just like, man, what's the most readily available high ticket item that I could practice sales on? And it's not like to be a sleazy thing. Sales is a lot of stuff. It gets a bad rep, but it's customer service, it's follow through, it's negotiation, it's an expertise in a market and understanding values and all of this different stuff to be able to bring the best value to your clients. But that's kind of, I was the same way. And because do you guys ever think you're gonna be real estate agents?
Not once in my life.
Yeah. No.
Never. When they asked you in high school, you take a little quiz there. And do you like working with your hands? Do you want to build that? I would have never put this one down. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, I know. It's wild, isn't it? Yeah, I never thought I was gonna do this either.
No.
The only thing that I thought, because Dad, you remember Dad growing up, he was always like, man, I should have stayed in land. I should have kept on buying and selling land. I just remember Dad complaining
about not buying into Apple in the 80s.
Oh, there's that too.
Investing.
Met a guy at a bar, told him to buy into this fruit company.
Yeah, absolutely not.
Forrest Gump.
I'm sure most everyone's dad has that. Someone would have told me NASCAR was going to catch on. I kind of took that question, Cleto. Was there something you wanted to add?
What's your motivator? What are you thinking?
What do you got?
Well, that's there's nothing like being in it to learn it. And I think real estate gets, people get a little bit spooked of it because they're just not, they just have to learn about it. And the best way to learn about it is actually be involved in it. And that's my reason. I just wanted to learn more about it and the ins and outs of it. And it's just, that's the best way to learn about it or gain experience by doing. So you have to get out there and do it. And is there a good time? Yeah, today.
Yeah.
So now is the time. So I don't know. It's just taking action and going for it.
Yeah, figuring it out. I have to say, so Quinn and Cleto had an adventure getting these tests done. Because you have to in the state of Montana, you got to do 70 hours of pre-course. Yep. And you got to do you can do an online or you can go to an actual in class. And the online one is tough. Like the one that you try to pace yourself and have the discipline to go and get done on your own.
Because you're just buying a course.
Yeah, you're just buying something you click through, and it's literally in all seriousness probably 140 hours worth of work.
Yeah, I would say so.
But it's technically considered 70 hours of classwork, but they overcompensate to make sure that it qualifies for all state standards and stuff like that. Gotcha. And So I kind of want to touch on that. When you guys were doing it, Quinn, you had to take it twice and two different parts of the state.
Twice. Yeah.
No, but you passed.
Both times I passed something.
Right, exactly. So you were a winner. I mean, it's just
I got out of every situation with a little more ahead than I was when I walked in.
Well, let me set this up too, because I was leaving in about 2 weeks from the day that you decided to do it. Or what was it? It was like a month.
Yeah.
It was a month or something like that. Uh-huh. And it was a month. And then so it was all of a sudden Quinn was like, okay, I'm moving back to Billings. I think I'm going to do this real estate thing. And I'm like, okay, if you're going to do this, you need to literally start right now, because this course is going to take a while, and then it's going to take 2 weeks minimum to get your test, your license back.
Schedule the test.
From the day you take it. Then you got to schedule. Yeah, you schedule the test. That'll take 2 weeks to be able to get into a test building.
And you can't schedule your test unless you've completed the course. You have to have a certificate that says you've completed the course before they even let you schedule a test. So you can't do it I'll have the course done in I know I'll have it done by then, so let me just schedule now. You have to finish the course first and then schedule one.
Do you? Because I thought we scheduled it without it. I swear we scheduled it without it.
Because otherwise, show up with verification?
Yeah,
is that what it was?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Because I did the same thing.
Yeah.
I just set my schedule up, and it's I went ahead and did the online class.
First, you tried the online class, but then you did
the course. Yeah,
I bought the course.
And then after 6 months, that's not going to happen. So I just bit the bullet and got the Yeah,
you did the in-person or the Zoom class?
Over Zoom. So it was.
And that's like 9 hours?
It's just Monday through Sunday, 8 to 5. So they kind of, and then with 2-3 hours of homework every day. So they make sure and get you in there. But
it's intense. Like you weren't able to work that whole week. You were off that whole week.
That whole week off.
Yep.
And that's Monday through Sunday. So so it was
pretty intense.
But I would say that was the way. I mean, that was the only way it was going to work for me, because that whole course thing, sitting in front of computers.
Oh, Quinn found out.
It's grueling. It's a grueling process.
Killer. I like the cramming. It's like, that's it. I just gotta. It's like, because you had the test scheduled, so you had to crack.
Yeah,
to get it done.
I had the test scheduled for I take it on a Monday.
Like Monday.
Yeah. On a Monday, and so
across.
And you didn't truly start doing your course until probably
we started that
before.
week.
Yeah.
Just a heads up, don't smack the table too much because it hits the mic. But I had I had the course scheduled, or the test scheduled, on a Monday.
Slide that underneath yours.
And I finally started cranking through the course at a decent pace, probably a week and a half before I had the test.
Mm-hmm.
But so the test, the closest one I could find, because the idea was we were trying to get our licenses before Drew was out of country, so we could cover him. And there's a lot of small, simple stuff that a real estate agent does that you legally can't do without a license. In case you don't know, if you're listening to this and you don't know a lot about it, I mean, just going and opening doors for people, doing a showing where even if you just open the door and let them walk through, you can't legally do that without a license. We wanted our licenses before Drew left the country and the rest of the team. And so, I had that test on a Monday. I think I was doing, and that was on the other side of the state, right, in Kalispell, and I was in Bozeman. So it was like 5-6 hours away from me. Oh. And I was doing my course up until about 1 p.m. Sunday, and then I started driving. No, probably later. I got to Kalispell at 9 p.m. Stayed with some lovely friends I know up there. Finished the course at 2 a.m. Slept for a couple hours. Woke up, went and took the test in Kalispell. And
you passed the national.
I passed the national section, which is the longer section.
That's big.
Yeah.
Which is the supposedly the harder section.
Yeah.
So I passed the national, but I failed the state because I just glossed
over it. You really failed the state, right? Because you said you didn't know any of the stuff.
Yeah, I think I got like a 50% on the state section. Because a lot of the state stuff was different and just worded differently.
Yeah.
It just caught me off guard, and I put very little time into studying the state stuff because the course that I took itself was had one chapter out of maybe 15 was state specific. So I was like, must not be a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Didn't worry about it. So
yes.
So I passed the national, failed the state, got out. I went.
You called me.
Called Drew. I sat in the Rosars parking lot for about 10 minutes. Had a quick cry. I was exhausted. Went and grabbed a beer and a burger for lunch, and
started driving.
Scheduled another test for later in the week.
After your meal,
and drove, beer. Drove right back across the state, back to Bozeman. Studied for another 2 days, I think.
No, 1 day. You came back. You stayed there for 1 day, and then you came back the next day and did another test.
I was in Kalispell for like 12 hours, less than 12 hours, probably.
Yeah.
I spent more time on the road than I did in Kalispell. And came back, studied for a day, went and retook the test again the day after in Billings. So I couldn't even go back to Bozeman. Had to go to Bozeman. I slept there, woke up, drove to Billings, took the test again, passed there, and got my license that way.
Yeah.
Good time. And then they didn't mail it to me until you were out of country for like 4 days. So.
Yeah, they sent it to you like the 17th, and I'd been gone since the 15th or something like that.
Yes, you've been gone for 2 or 3 days.
When did you get yours, Cleto? How did that go down? Because you were the first one to pass everything.
Right. So
I knew it was okay if Quinn failed.
Right. Well, so because I took that week-long course, and then I was actually out of town for the following week on the road, and so I got back and I had a couple of days. I kind of reviewed everything, and then Wednesday I took that test, and and it was like, whew, you go through it, and it's like,
And you nailed it first time.
Yeah, you got them both.
Yeah, so I don't know, that Zoom deal, they really set you up for this is it. Yeah, this is what you really need to focus on.
That's probably one of the best real estate courses.
Yeah, are we going to do a plug for them? Or?
I don't know. We should see if we can get a sponsorship for him. But
Honestly,
yeah,
we should reach out.
we should reach out, dude. Because that's the way I did mine. I loved it. It was a great time.
It was great. They did a wonderful job. They were good. They were right on.
And Zach did the.
He's the only one that I know that's passed online until you passed online.
Yeah.
And when I say online, he bought the course. He studied for like 3 months before he took that test.
And did he pass it first time?
Passed it first time.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Zach is like, so there's something about Zach, man. He can just, if he needs to get knowledge shoved in his brain and like just remember it, he can do it. It's insane. Yeah, it's insane. The kid is an amazing writer too. So I think there's something there that correlates. But anyways, yeah. So that was the journey that these guys had, and then I promptly flew out of country when I didn't have any service. I had Wi-Fi in spots, but it was spotty because we were pretty much in the countryside of this place we were at, and yeah, so that's how it went down. Now they're in. Now we're full bore, and now we're making videos and everything. Yeah. Borrowing a couple of horses of Cletos.
Yep.
Stealing some trailers.
That's fine.
A couple times.
Hey, that trailer held up for that drive though. Those lug nuts are good.
Yeah, we took care of that. Turns out the pit stop, they got to work on my pit crew there. Apparently, you need to double check that, and I didn't. Oh yeah, you guys are good to go. So
right. That's good. So yeah. Anyways, all right. Well, I got some more things to talk about, I guess, but I'm just super excited to have these guys on because we've always been in agricultural field together. We've always been in just some kind of like a, I don't know, labor positions, skill positions.
Nannies, shenanigans.
Yeah, but we're like always driving truck or operating machinery or chasing cows or something. And there's something that's really exciting about getting into sales. And
extreme sports. Yeah. It was more like we did wonderful hours.
Yeah.
It was banker's hours.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
9 to 5 in the morning.
9 to 5 in the morning.
And it was
9 in the morning till 5 the next morning.
We could, we got stories. Holy smokes.
Stories on stories. But these guys are probably two of the best talkers I've ever met. If anyone's ever hung out with Cleto, when it comes to the stories and everything, it's the best in the world. And they're just really personable people. And it's just no better team. Like, personally, I feel like until you get a really big team, the very first thing that you need sales and marketing. And that's really what determines whether or not you're going to have enough cash flow to make things work. And then once you go and get the job, like my dad always said, then you go find the machinery and we'll get the operators and everything on the back end, like the operations setup. But when you're trying to build a real estate team, you need faces and you need personable faces and people that like relationship and like hanging out with people and know how to handle people. And like I got it confirmed the other day when I was sitting in here. Cleto and I were working on just kind of going over like lead lists and everything, because there's a lot of stuff in real estate that you got to do to make sure that you're going to be successful, and that's keeping a relationship. And we're kind of like talking in the weeds on this stuff, but Cleto had a touchy subject come up with his current employer, and is a tougher situation where it wasn't necessarily his fault, but the client was very upset, and he handled it like a freaking champ when it comes to just getting the guy kind of, calm down and getting things figured out, and kind of like, hey, we'd love to help you out. This is what we can do for you. I don't know exactly what went on here, but he just kind of took it into his own hands. And right there, I was just like, okay, stuff hits the fan all the time in real estate. And when that happens, the best thing you can do is just stay calm, cool, and collected and make a phone call, get some answers, and then go, okay, you're not alone in this, whoever the client is. I'll be here to help make sure that we make this as painless as possible. We'll figure out the questions. We'll get some answers, and we're going to go through this together. And that's pretty much like, that is the best kind of trait you can have in this situation, because when you're dealing with $200,000, $500,000, sometimes $10 million worth of real estate, there's a lot of emotion that's involved. So it's just really cool to have that happen yesterday. And that was just like another confirmation. And I think Quinn will eventually have that, once he stops seeing all these relationships as money. But no,
he's not going to stop throwing me under the bus.
We'll show him what I was actually showing you at one point. No, but all right. So I'll roll on through here, because these are kind of some. I put a lot of work into this email. I see.
Yeah. Let's go through these questions.
Okay. So what is your biggest concern for doing real estate full time?
You want to take this one? You want me to take this one?
Biggest concern.
I think we should do like a 5-minute timer. This thing's gonna go forever.
Yeah, let's just fire through the rest of these questions.
All right, get it. Biggest concern, full-time real estate.
The income stability.
Yeah,
exactly.
Absolutely. I think everyone. I mean, at the end of the day, you are your own boss, and you're the one responsible for bringing in clients. There is no salary, there's no bonuses or anything like that. It's just, you want the money, go out and get the money.
Yeah.
And you have to do that by doing your job as good as you can.
Yeah.
And being good at your job and taking care of your clients and your customers correctly. That's the only way, is like to make money here.
Yeah.
Is it's all on you. Well, granted, we have a team now, which helps, but it's not like there's, like I said, there's no salary, there's no guarantee of income unless you go get it yourself.
Yeah, and the way I trained, like, that was the best thing I ever did, because I've been in real estate for like 6 or 7 years now. But best thing I ever did was working with Zach full time. Mm-hmm. So that I literally was like everywhere he went for all the communication, negotiation, understand emails, understand all those processes, all these things, you know, when it comes to learning that stuff. But like your situation's a little bit different, because you decided, like, Quinn committed. I gotta say, Quinn committed whole hog on this thing, because he like quit his job, moved back from Bozeman to Billings, and then was just like, okay, I'll do real estate. And it was like, well, Quinn, it'll be a couple months before you probably see some money, so just be ready for some side deals. He's like, nope, I'm gonna figure it out. It's like, okay,
we'll get there.
So
one way or
Quinn's
another.
he's been doing a lot of our video work, which is really great that he has other traits to kind of keep him going. But yeah. that is a huge concern. I mean, I couldn't do full-time real estate I had to sell a trucking company first before I had the money to be able to just stick it out, because it might be 6 months for a guy gets a commission in this business.
Yeah. So. Rice and beans.
Beans and rice.
Beans and rice.
That's for sure.
Forwards and backwards. What about you, Cleto?
Yeah, well, it's exactly. I think it's all about you have to, you know, it's building a pipeline. I mean, you have to create contacts or you know, reach out and reconnect or connect with people, and kind of, you also learning the processes too. So yeah, it's kind of getting in there and just being involved in this, you know, in the system, in the program, and going just learning it. So yeah, it more than likely will take a little bit. So yeah, you better, you know, and just jump in and just be, yeah, you got
ready to roll.
set up some,
you gotta have some
daily
routines and stuff.
Yeah.
I will say
operation.
Another thing too is, once you do this, you are not just you're not just marketing a house, you're also marketing yourself, right? So you become something that you're marketing. So a little bit of not being a public figure, but you're now maybe more in the public eye than what you would have been doing with some other job.
That's kind of scary.
And definitely, because it's like, man, if I slip up downtown and I say something stupid or you know what I mean, I get in an argument with a guy at a red light, and then I go meet my client and it was that guy. It's like yesterday, I wanted to have a conversation with a guy on his bicycle, the way he was riding down the road. And some things he said to me. But I was just like, hey.
There's a segment right there.
Yeah, I just
ran into a bicycle guy. Turns out to be his client.
Yeah, you just keep driving. You gotta, you know,
beautiful day for a ride.
Yeah, it's just something. I mean, you should do that anyways. But
slow down and don't dust them.
It's definitely, now it's always in the back of your mind, where it's just like, I can't. Like, is someone watching me do something stupid? I don't know. I don't know.
Let's put a big sign on your door so you're like a billboard. Yeah. And it's like, just remember, you are the representative. You're the first person.
That's like Drew roasting the tires while he's got the window rolled down, yelling, "Company vehicle."
That was kind of crazy. I was kind of nervous about putting logos on when we did the Rose Thorn cars.
Yeah.
The Sunfires and everything. I was a little bit nervous about that, because I was like, man, I don't know if I'm really that, especially when I'm on the phone talking to people.
How your driving skills are?
Yeah, I was like,
yeah, you gotta watch that.
Everybody's gonna see this, and well, we'll just see what happens, I guess. I'm a human. Humans wreck. I've never wrecked that car, but
that one.
Yeah, I backed into your car at that car.
Yeah,
but that was about it.
That was pretty cool.
Yeah,
never.
Well, okay, so moving on from the big scares, what you're most scared about. What is your guys' like? What is kind of your goals in real estate? Because like you won't really know. I guess we can probably hear a little bit more about what you're really scared about if we can hear the goals.
I guess goals.
An example would be like, are you in it because you want to be buying more real estate? Is there a certain piece that you want to buy at some point? Do you want to just is it an investment vehicle, or do you want to do or do you want to eventually have a full team yourself or a brokerage or whatever?
For me, I'm not too worried about running my own brokerage or running
yet
at least, or running a team underneath me. Maybe someday.
Yeah.
But currently, it's just, I mean, I think I said it earlier, everyone has a dream of owning their own place.
Yeah.
And like, I travel around a lot and just see really cool spots, and you're like, man, it would be great to live here. I would love to live here. And so I think a big goal for me is definitely, I always said, and I was kind of joking up until when I committed to real estate, then I was like, okay, I can make this a real goal, a real dream come true. I want to own a house by the time I'm 26.
Mm-hmm.
Now, it doesn't have to be outright.
That's a goal.
Have a mortgage, whatever. But by the time I'm 26, I want to own a house, and I'm not going to settle, but even if it's like a manufactured home on a lot, well, I just would like to own my own place.
Hey, if it's on a foundation of finances.
There we go.
There you go.
Yeah.
But I think that's kind of, just to sum it up real quick. Yeah, for me, hitting that goal.
Yeah.
Of owning a piece of property in my name by the time I'm 26, and just being a little more financially stable, of course. Because a big thing for me is I want to travel a lot, and it's nice. I like to have a home base and then work out from there. And our friend group, we all got projects and stuff we're tinkering on that we do for hobbies. And so just having a space to facilitate all those things is definitely a goal for me.
Yeah. Yeah. Like one of my biggest ones was when I first got started was like, I realized at first I was like, yeah, I really want to go and buy ground, and there can be a lot of money made. About 20% of the actual real estate agents out there are the ones that are getting 80% of the business, kind of a thing. But my biggest one was I really wanted to see if I could have the discipline to go and market myself well enough to be able to sell something that's just an everyday commodity and everybody else sells. Like there's a lot of personality involved, I feel like. And I thought, like, if I can figure out how to make it in a market where there's 1,600 other realtors in only 150,000 people town, if I can figure out how to make it there, I'll make it anywhere. Yeah. And like, that was one of my bigger goals, was like just committing to something, sticking to it for 5 years, and then coming out on top in 5 years, just so that I could be like, okay, I did it in that. Why can't I sell anything else? Yeah. Like I could probably sell anything if I can sell a house. Well, and it's such a nonchalant product in a way.
Yeah. Well, and it's a personal responsibility goal too, right? Because if you make it or don't in this industry,
it's your fault.
It's on you.
Yeah.
Right, so if you can do it, I mean, we're going to try and be very transparent with people. It's like we're not getting handed anything. We're going to go do it. That's why we're all in this room.
Yeah.
Exactly.
We want to do it ourselves.
Yeah. Well, that's why we have to make content. Like, we got to be our own market.
That's why they make me come sit in front of this camera.
There you go.
It's Sunday.
All right. Go ahead, Cleto.
Well,
the Gerber boys talk so much, dude.
They are very good.
Cleto can usually beat us, though. Cleto can.
Well, I'm kind of letting Quinn,
shut it down.
Roll with it here. But it's. I mean, it's just
your goals. What is your goals?
My goal is to get into the real estate field and be knowledgeable about it. And of course, buying a place or getting into some real estate, I'm looking for an asset. So in an investment, I kind of have taken a break from the cattle business on account of the drought. But but I think, even a little headquarters, or I think even a house would be an ideal thing to get into. And you have to also go through the motions, or so then you can even help better as far as a new homeowner, okay, here's what we need to do. And you actually went through it. So, it's then you're back to speaking from experience. This is what it is. This is what you need. Here's some people we worked with, and you can choose your own there. But it's just getting into it, and just back to the business of it, and just
here for the knowledge.
Exactly. And just sharing the knowledge and be able to help people in their process, especially the first homeowners. What does that take? How does it go? How does the steps work?
Yeah.
So
what does Chamath always say? Let's get everyone rich. Who was it?
Chamath.
I don't know. There's some guy you showed me. That was his
Oh,
thing.
the all-in-one podcast.
So
Is that what you're talking
I
about?
think I've heard him say that.
Yeah.
I think I listened to him, and he did a different podcast. He said, "Let's fix it. Let's fix the world by just getting everyone rich first. Like, there's no reason not everyone can't be rich."
Oh yeah, yeah. You just got to figure out how to. Well, this is a perfect segue. You got to figure out how each person's skills can convert into a monetary thing. So that's my next question. We'll start with Cleto on this one.
Oh, good.
Yeah, here we go. What are some skills and abilities you think might transfer to real estate from everything else you've done? Because right now you're doing Western Ag, you're a salesman on not Western Ag, Western Ranch. You're doing the salesman stuff there.
Right. Western Ranch Supply. Yep.
Yep.
And so just being involved in ag and it's, you're pretty much out for the week. Mm-hmm. So you're planning your own way. So this is, it falls right into, okay, what do we need to do, or how are we going to do this, or how it's back to just keeping yourself accountable and, you know, where do you have to be when, so you can pull this off or whatever. And then some of that is just logistics of running, but it's also, it can be incorporated in that and which is really nice. The whole ag, you know, I love being out in the country. So seeing places and different things. So it's, and love seeing different people's operations and stuff. I mean, there's always some neat stuff you see out there and just how they utilize the country, or, you know, how they made this particular piece of land work and capitalized on that. It's and just being out, you know, with people and striking conversations and I mean, geez, it's pretty much anywhere, just talking to people. And, you know, I think communication is huge, you know, and especially in different situations when things don't go well, you know, it's just, hey, figure out what is the issue. If something is wrong, hey, you know, hey, I was wrong here, or this didn't work out. So how do we fix it? Right. So It's just, and that's all the time. And that's where you can run into so communication is huge, and just, you know, and be professional about it. And you know, it's just, you know, different when things get, if something goes wrong and you're remediating or you're fixing a problem, it's always best to call, you know, and then, you know, if stuff's kind of dicey, maybe give it a minute, just collect yourself, you know, and then just, you know, and check on the situation, make sure you can have as much information as you can. And then, and just, you know, and people are people, and, you know, stuff is going to go wrong, or, you know, people make mistakes. A lot of times deals are lost because people want to assume the blame. It's like, hey man, the quickest like, hey, I screwed up here, whatever, and this is what we can do, and this is what I found out. So, and then, you know, everybody, you just come across more real. It's just, you can lose. People have gotten into trouble by kind of going around that, but that, you know, that's just a little whatever. It's just, it's all back to communication. It's just,
don't overthink it, and just be a sounding board. Yeah, in a lot of ways, just be right there. Well, the other thing I was gonna say was, because you didn't even touch on half the experience you have. You're just talking about just dealing with people for the most part. I mean, Cleto did egg science, or what was it, animal science at University of South Dakota. South Dakota State. Then you came out of there. You worked on a pretty large seed out here in Montana in 99, I think is when you came out. Yep,
99, yep.
And you worked on a seed stock operation, one of the biggest ones in the state at that time, and was cowboying doing that. And then he
cattle and horses, they were actually international. So
and you were working your own string too. You were training horses and selling horses there for a while.
Yeah, got into a little bit of that too. So just working.
So you've been all around that kind of stuff, seeing those different operations. Like seriously, you know, if anyone's seen a ton of different operations and actually studied on them, Cleto's probably been to the most, because then when he got out of that, he got into the trucking and farming kind of stuff, and the custom harvesting, custom cutting. Yep. And you see everybody. You see the money that's truly made at the end of the year. You see what, you know, the crop was that came in. You can see how it's planted. You can see the yields. You can see where they missed fertilizer, where they didn't. You know, they can see how they rotate cattle on top of that crop beginning of the year. So you'll see early season, late seasons. So you just get so much knowledge on how maybe some of the better practices can be
right. And
put out there.
It was pretty huge here, as far as experience in Montana, and then going on to harvesting, and then moving clear down to Texas and working through central U.S. You get to see a lot of different operations and in both cattle and grain, and I wasn't really big on the grain, which was nice exposure, and see how that works, and how guys down south have worked. Here. I mean, you hear about, farmer cows, and that was the funniest thing I've ever heard was down in Texas, they're calling these guys cowboy farmers because they were seeding the wheat to graze cattle. It's like, they don't know what they're just cowboy farmers. Like, oh, be darned, it could go the other way too.
Yeah. They can grow it.
Because you always got the farmer cows for some reason, which I'd rather have a farmer cow than a wild one trying to eat you. So
that's true.
But it was the funniest thing I've ever heard. Is like, a bunch of cowboy farmers, and like, what?
A little different.
I mean, so it can go both ways. Anyways.
Yeah. So that stuff really correlates a ton. I just think that's a big deal, because I think you guys both got a lot of skills for that, just that transfer into it. It's hard to sometimes recognize how it can feed in until you start having conversations with people, but it's really all about life experience. More life experience that they can see, and typically the more respect you get, more business you're going to get. So what about you, Quinn? Skills that you think will transfer into real estate?
Skills that I think that I've got, they'll transfer. Well, I've got a little bit of experience in construction, not a lot, not as much as some guys for sure, but enough to know, the basics, and that definitely helps. Measuring tape. I can read tape. I can tell you if your siding's good or bad. But so just having a little bit of knowledge like that is helpful, especially you don't have to be an expert in any of these fields as a real estate agent, but having knowledge is key, because you can explain it to your client if they don't know, and you know enough to know who to refer them to.
Right, exactly.
Is what it is, because we can't be experts on everything.
Yep.
But as having basic understanding, I could see this being a problem, I can see this being a good thing, but here's someone who would know more, and I know enough to know that they know what they're talking about. So I'm going to have you go talk to them.
Yep.
Yeah. You just need to know the experts. You don't need to be the expert.
And I've got a little bit of experience in a couple key. So like I said, construction, I've got enough to tell you who to talk to. Marketing, I'm not the best at it, but I know enough to either refer you to someone or get you set up if you want to market better. Like I said, it's introductory knowledge on a lot of this stuff, but it's enough to get you headed in the right direction.
Yeah.
I'm not the guy, but I can put you in touch with the guy.
Yeah. Well, both you guys have team skills, which is amazing. Like it's hard to find people that know how to talk and communicate with people.
And except when this isn't your expertise.
Yep.
Because I mean, if you try to be the expert, you're probably going to get a lawsuit.
Yeah. Well, when you try to be an expert when you're running equipment or whatever, you usually run with broke down equipment.
Yeah, exactly. and so
you figure out how to break it.
Yeah, you find out in a hurry how to break it.
That's how you break them.
And like you said, teamwork, work with other people. We're building a team now, so just between us and every listing or buying experience, you're going to work with a small team. Whether it's you and your homeowners, and then you might add cleaning companies to the team, contractors to the team, transactions, insurance, title.
Yeah.
Every transaction comes with an own little team.
Yeah.
And so every new transaction, you got to learn how to work with a new little team.
Well, and you did, you also worked, I mean, you kind of saw a little bit of the luxury world and everything, because you worked at one of the nicest real estate skiing resorts.
It is a real estate resort, let's be honest.
It's
a big land trust. And they're not, they're going to come after me.
You're not allowed to talk about it.
I used to work at the Yellowstone Club as a lift operator and a lift mechanics assistant. So I got a little experience working on those big ski lifts. Those are amazing machines.
You met some of the wealthiest people in the world.
I have, yes. And
they're super.
Yeah. And we joke that, I mean, all you need to be a lifty is have a pulse, but it's one of those things where you become 10 times better at your job, and your job becomes 10 times easier if you have personal skills.
Yeah.
Because it's still a service-based industry. You're still running this lift for these people. And if they have a problem, you need to help them solve it. They lost a ski at the bottom. How are you going to get it up for them?
Yeah.
They're having a bad day. The weather's cold. They don't like what's going on. How are you going to talk them down from calling a manager for something that you don't have any control of? But still, you want to be able to be like, hey, this happens sometimes. Oh, our lift shut down because of wind hold. Well, here's why. And when these people have enough money to be anywhere in the world, anytime they want, and could probably buy the first small island nation you think of, you need to know how to talk them down off a ledge sometimes. It's like, you know, some of those people where you're like, yeah, if this guy didn't like me, he could just blackball me for the rest of my, if someone up there decided to take out a personal vendetta, you know, there goes whatever you were working on, it's gone. So that definitely helps, you know, being able to talk to those people. And it makes you, if it's something you want to get good at, it makes you learn how to, and this is something we've all had to deal with a lot of work we do. You have to work with a lot of people who come from very unrelated backgrounds, very different life experiences that you're not always gonna be able to relate to. And so
service-based industry, man. Yeah. That's what we're in. Yeah. We're in that. All of us have been in that all our lives. Yeah. I don't think any of us have made a product. Well, Cleto sold beef. Yeah. That's Cleto raised beef. Yeah.
But it is just come down to service. I have
ways.
Yeah.
And understanding how people might think differently, being able to come at a problem from their point of view, extremely helpful skill. Yep. And just understanding their wants, needs, and desires.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay, we're gonna roll on to the next one. What's so this is mostly marketing business because we got to figure out how to market ourselves and everything. Mm-hmm. What's some of the ways that you guys get the most excitement when it comes to
it's gotta be videos.
I think it's one of the funnest. Yeah, it's gotta be one of the funnest.
The props,
things.
Just just working together and making. Yeah. I mean, the videos are neat because they're catchy and it's really neat because you can shoot. That one day we shot content and a couple things went up, but there was tons of content. So then not only did we cut out the video, but then there's all kinds of little. You gotta bring the toys and run different stuff and then you'll have little clips of just how do you run this camera, whatever. It's like
you get it's compounding. You go out and shoot one day and then you get a lot out of just that one day worth of effort. The most fun, definitely. I like our marketing style. I think a lot of people don't do it too much, or maybe it'll start catching on now, but we're super casual and we're straightforward. And we're not posturing. We're not not trying to, this is just my on-camera personality. What you see on camera is same thing as if you were standing there behind the camera. We're not going to act any different on or off. I might be trying a little harder to crack some extra jokes.
And then, share the information.
Yeah.
Don't forget something.
Yeah, exactly.
We forget stuff all the time.
Or be accurate on the description.
Or just get audio in general.
Yeah, well.
It's a work in progress. We're all learning.
Always is.
And the fact that nowadays you can market, and you kind of have to draw the line. There's some places when you shouldn't market.
There you
go. But, you can do it whenever. You have a cool thought, whip your phone out and do something. But, I have a lot of fun with it. And it's still a little bit of a hobby to make videos. A little bit I enjoy that part of it too.
You make some funny Snapchats.
Yeah, that's what
I think you enjoy that a lot.
I get a lot of fun.
We got to figure out how to
I need a cooking show.
How to get that going.
Cooking show.
That's what I want. I want a cooking show.
The drone operation isn't bad either. I mean, the footage.
Sticks.
Yeah, very smooth.
Quinn played a lot of Xbox when he was a kid.
That's literally what I credit. You remember how I could hop in most of those machines and run them right away?
Right.
Video games, baby.
Yeah, I hear you. Man, you guys got her going on.
Yeah, we're doing that. Well, Cleto's been making videos on Facebook though for years. I remember when we were doing custom harvesting.
You were videoing all the time.
You were making videos all the time, and it was like
we did a Christmas. You
made a video compilation at Christmas.
Well, I had all of it, and then I turned it loose, and then they put together. We had like a Christmas party thing. We had a video.
You gotta watch all of Cleto's videos,
all the
documenting everything.
Hilarious. They're funnier than anything I
so funny. It's so funny.
Man, some of those storms and stuff. Wow.
Man. Well, it was always like, all right, look. I mean, let's just be completely honest. We were always fighting, and just bleep this out. It was just a crap show the whole time.
Yeah.
I mean,
I was having fun.
Well,
we
the radios worked great because I remember Quinn just like you could see the emotion in the cabin. And okay, I'll be right there. It's like you could tell radios are great because as long as you don't sit on the mic and key it up and then have a tantrum, it's like, are you all right, buddy? Because that was keyed up. So
it would literally be. I remember. So we were custom harvesting. The situation is you got combines running. Cleto was driving a truck or a grain cart. Quinn was running a grain cart, and we would always be on top of each other. Like, why are the combines going this way? Okay, if all 3 combines are going to go this way, where's the grain cart operator? Okay, why are the trucks on the other end of the field then? And then all of a sudden a truck gets stuck or whatever happens. And then all of a sudden the grain cart guy's asleep. The other grain cart guy's like, I'm running my...
That was never me.
I'm running my butt off here.
I'm pretty keen. When it got dark though, like if you're, and then depending on the trucking situation, you just... rode around with somebody. Yeah, it was like traveling in the moon, man. Yeah, you get the cutting, and then I think
the fields are so big. And
when it got late at night, granted, the elevator shut up at 11 o'clock, and then we pushed through for midnight-ish. But then you get some weird conversations on the radio.
Oh yeah.
And I think Drew wanted to reset the whole how things were supposed to be going. We've been doing it all day. I think you're like, wasn't this kind of something?
Is it kind of dumb we're doing it like
it's
this?
Like we're almost done. Just
keep going.
Load it up. Let's go. We filled the trucks. Ideas. I'm going home.
Yeah. There's no reason to change at the end.
Dude,
but sometimes you have like an epiphany, and it's like, and then maybe you're just tired.
Yeah. Dude, we had some wild situations.
That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, but I remember Quinn getting so upset about stuff because, like, someone's going the wrong way. Quinn's getting his ass chewed because he couldn't get across the field fast enough. And then all of a sudden, field boss goes by and it's like, hey, why isn't that combine running? Yeah, he's full. And then like, Quinn's like, yeah, I'm headed that way. And then the mic shuts off and Quinn's in the truck. He's just like, just freaking
there's a lot of emotion in the cab.
One of the best times I remember going to like check on Quinn in these cabs. We're running nice equipment. These cabs are air sealed, airtight, and everything. And I go jump in the cab, and it's like watching a silent movie when you're in the combine and you're looking into another piece of equipment driving next to you. You can't hear anything what's going on over there. So that guy could be blaring the radio or whatever. So I get in there with Quinn, and Quinn's like 15, 16?
No, I was probably 14.
14 years old running this tractor. And all of a sudden, everything shuts down. At the end of the day, I get in, and it's just
I started
like...
when I was 13 with you guys.
Was it 13?
Yeah.
Up north? You never went on the road.
I was up north when I was...
Oh, maybe we can't say this. Has it been 7 years?
Yeah.
It has been, just barely.
I was up north when I was 13.
Yeah, but when you flew down to Texas...
I was 14.
And we picked you up.
Yeah, I was 14.
Yeah. Oh, we're going to have to make a pause here, I guess.
Yeah.
And we're back. We're talking about some combining, and then Quinn blocked my wife in. Right to the road. Right to the road, yeah. So we had to go and move some cars around. So anyways, yeah, we were talking about custom harvesting.
We were.
And just all the good times we were having there. But yeah, the end of that story was Quinn would be rocking out to the hardest heavy metal ever. And I only discovered it one time when I was walking out there. I was like, oh, so this is what you're listening to.
I was having a bad day.
You
can't yell over the radio, so you got to let it out somehow.
There was that one time we drive by and he's kicked back. It's like, Quinn, we need you down here. Oh, yeah, right there. And he pops up. It was a slow day, so there was a lot of weight. So he was like,
I think I actually nodded off once.
We had another kid though that slept all the time.
Kicked off.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot. I wasn't there that year. I think he took my job.
He did take your job. Yeah. He slept all the time.
We can't mention his name.
No. Anyways, that was pretty funny stuff. Okay.
He didn't go to the train station or anything, so don't worry about it. If you guys know what that means. We would drop them at the bus station. We never did train station. That's just a Yellowstone thing.
Yeah, when you fire them, yeah, they go to the train station.
We would take them to the. We ran a couple guys to the bus station.
I remember that.
People died, It was like,
they had to,
yeah,
They
it
have
was
to go
like,
home.
and then there was that one time that somebody didn't buy mayonnaise, and that was it.
That was the end.
The
They
diabetic
didn't want to
guy
work
just
for you
had to,
anymore.
no, that's it. I'm done.
I'm done.
So
I remember another time too.
it was
where
it Hellman's. He wanted Hellman's,
You
and
got the wrong brand?
it was
Best
Miracle
Foods
Whip
or something.
something.
Yeah.
And it was like, that's not real mayo. You're a diabetic.
Yeah.
I'm out of here.
Yeah.
And that was it. He packed and
Another time we had a guy just leave a truck in the middle of nowhere. And we had to go get the truck. This might have been after he was hauling cows for our boss. Yeah, he was hauling cows for him. Then all of a sudden, just
he was done.
disappeared.
Had someone come pick him up and
Yeah, like left the truck. Called 2 days later, like, "Hey, the truck's still there." It's like, what? I had no idea.
well,
I mean, it was empty. Thank God, it didn't have cows on it. But it was a wild thing.
that's one way to walk off.
Yeah, yeah. So, anyways, all right. Next question. We'll just hammer these out. So that was the question about transferring skills and all the good times we had.
There was some.
But
We got a lot of skills through
yeah,
that.
a lot of skills there.
You stay pretty limber. You can
Do it all.
problem solve very nicely.
This is kind of a weird one, but maybe not. I'm just kind of curious if you guys have any ideas on this. I think we talked about this one too. Who are some people you guys look up to that have used real estate to succeed in their goals and stuff?
Quinn, take it away.
Any ideas?
Gee, I don't know.
Cleto immediately deflected.
Yeah.
It's all yours, Quinn.
Well, I met a guy.
I don't want to hog the mic.
I met a guy this weekend who I've known for a little while, but I just recently saw him again. And he's someone who I won't say his name, but he just did very well for himself with the way he got started out, and then the way he knew how to, like you were talking about. A lot of people don't think of, if you're gonna look at land. A lot of people just, I want to buy a house and live there, and that's the end of my journey.
It's just a consumer thing. Yeah.
It's just like it's a one-time buying experience, maybe twice if we move or something like that.
Not necessarily a leverage for.
Yeah, they're just
ongoing.
buying to live in.
Exactly.
not-
They just need it. They want a house, which is totally fine. If that's why you just want a homestead,
A lot of people do
absolutely.
that.
And we were happy to help you with it. I think it's awesome to
Exactly.
finally. It's fun to see someone like get into their first house because you do get that pride of ownership. But yeah,
Exactly.
this gentleman I'm talking about, just the way and what you were saying with a lot with agriculture is going out and seeing operations. And if you guys didn't pick up on it, the way Cleto was talking about like how people run their operations is how pretty much comes down to how efficient are you with the land. And how are you using the land to the best of its ability, what it's best built for? And like I said, this guy I met who's just wicked smart, and I can kind of give a snippet of his story. Had some ground that had like some mineral rights that were worth a good bit. Had one company knew that was interested in it. Immediately saw the opportunity. Told them to shoot him an offer. He wasn't going to tell them anything. He said, "Just give me an offer." Got the offer. He didn't care what it was going to be because he was just going to use it. He got that offer. Took a picture of it, sent it to their competitor, and said, "Hey, what are you going to do about it?"
Beautiful.
Got them into something. Eventually sold or worked out a deal there, and then he took that money and started his own business in the same industry as these other two companies.
Nice.
And exceeded both of them, and it has grown above both of those companies' expectations. And it's just like I said, this guy knew how to, this negotiation skills, knowing the value of the land, knowing what it's worth, and has since gone on to acquire more properties. And every property, when he gets his hands on something, it's just like gold. The guy's got the Midas touch. He knows exactly what that land should be used for. What's the best value I'm going to get out of that?
And it could be a number of different things. It could be a recreational purpose. It could be commercial purpose. It could be, like literally a venue situation. It could be, there's just so much that you can do on top of just the standard, hey, let's run cows on it. Now you have solar, you have carbon credits, you have so many different things that you can do to utilize that ground. There's hunting leases, timber leases. There's just so much
Farm
stuff.
leases.
Mineral leases, farm leases. Yeah.
And you meet this guy, and a reason I look up to him is now that he has all this, he's got himself in a position where he's comfortable. He still works. He hasn't just retired and given up. And he definitely could, but he still does it just because I think he enjoys the process. He enjoys the mindset it requires and staying fresh. And now that he has all these things, he just uses them to spend quality time with his family. All these positions he's put himself in, he's just like, how can I get more of my family members together? How can we have a more fun time? How can I make this event special for the family?
Right.
And so it's cool to see someone work extremely diligently in real estate, use it to their best advantage, use the land they acquire well, see them treat the people around them extremely well, and in the end, just work his way up so he can give it all back and show people a good time and be like, hey, man, I get to have fun. Come have fun with me. See what this is like. And so kind of builds that sense of community, but it's not someone who made all of his money and now uses it to extort people and gain power and do whatever he wants, like so many people like to think. He just did it because he enjoyed it. He was smart with it. And now he gets to share the wealth of his knowledge, experience, and straight wealth with people that he loves and cares about. And so I really look up to that. Yeah. Because he just kind of did it. And now that he's done it, he's like, it was fun. I'll keep doing it. And let's all go have a good time together. Yeah. So that's, like I said, it's not a specific name I can give you to go look up. There's plenty of, you can always find a role model. But yeah, it's just cool to see someone who's done that. Yeah. And definitely a personal goal. Kind of like that's where I want to be. Yeah. And I like that. I guess maybe we should have gone with that first because that kind of helps you put together your goals, you know. But like, yeah, maybe we should do that. It'd be kind of fun to do a goal sesh at some point, like a real one. Like I want to hit 3 transactions by the end of this 3 months, and I want to hit this much money by the end of 6 months or this much, whatever, in a year. It'd be cool to kind of maybe be telling people a little bit about that, because then they can kind of go, oh, so that's how that works, you know. Maybe we'll talk about that, but anyways, go ahead. Well, you know, people that you were there's always, you know, there's I like people's stories, right? So there's big names out there, and there's, you know, people that really like the real estate aspect of it. You know, you got your, you know, Robert Kiyosaki's, and you got your Grant Cardone's, and, you know, and it's interesting to see people's story, or, you know, to learn people's stories and see how they used, you know, you got like the movie The Founder, you know, you got Ray Kroc. Okay, so McDonald's was a burger joint, but really they're into the real estate business, right? They used the franchise as a vehicle to acquire, you know, real estate. So the thing, some of the most expensive places in the world. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And it's, so, you know, if you're looking for big names, there's some, and there's other interesting things, you know, in agriculture and some regenerative stuff, how people gain control of land by leases or other things, improved on it, and were able to make it an asset and raise capital, and eventually bought some of those places, or bought with that money. So it's all out there on the hustle, right? I mean, I really dig the entrepreneur spirit, and you gotta make it happen. And and you can, it is fun to even, you know, be out and about and hearing people's stories and how they got started on stuff. And of course, different ages, different things worked, you know, but so I think it's an ongoing thing. It's just a constant quest for knowledge, and and it is nice to podcasts and things, just different people's stories. And wow, if that doesn't inspire you to, you know, it's just, it's really taking action, right? It's, knowledge is important, but by taking action with that knowledge, that's when you make it happen. So it's, and you just kind of have to get out there and get going. So, and this is one where it's, you know, you want to find a role model, but especially with real estate, there's so many different ways to approach every angle of it, because there's so many different facets of it. It's tax shelters, it's commercial businesses, it's everything. And so you need to, like, you know, it's good to have a role model, but there's some people going out and meeting people, because there's still guys coming up with new ideas, new ways where they're like, this hasn't been done before, the way I invest in this property or bought this, or the way I use this to catapult something else. There's so many smart people out there who are continually innovating on it. And it's not like a research branch, but it's still just as exciting sometimes to see, like, man, I would have never thought of this guy went and bought really extremely unusable ground, and, you know, they couldn't raise on it. There was no farming, maybe there's no good water, but he found and worked a deal with the feds, so now he's generating solar or wind power off his property. Or he invested in this land because he knew the cell company wanted to build a cell tower there, and they will pay a premium if they can build on your land, stuff like that. There's always ways. It's cool to see how people innovate, bring value to the table.
Yep.
And try something to get, like we were talking about, the best available use out of the land, which is sometimes, let's be honest, leaving it alone. National parks there for a reason. BLM, these are all things I think most of us believe in. Preservation is good, conservation. But it's always cool to see how people attack the problem.
Mm-hmm.
And new ways make you think of maybe not copying them, but finding a new situation, it gives you a new idea. Staying limber, as you said.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, that's about right. I like that question's a hard one because it's like there's people that can do billions of dollars of real estate, and you're never gonna really start, with $1 million to get to $1 billion. So I really like those stories where it's like, and I love hearing about school teachers that on the weekends are hustling and roofing houses or doing some kind of a handyman job, and then all of a sudden they stumble upon, some elderly folks want to sell a house, but they don't have the time to be able to fix it up to make it marketable. And so he says, well, I'll take it as a discount, but I'll give you cash for it and cash out because he's been working and saving money.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, you get 4 or 5 houses put together and you do a couple short-term rentals or long-term rental, and you've replaced your income. That's one of the things that gets me super excited about it is passive income is that you can figure out how to, and it's not truly passive. It is never truly passive. This is all very much so hard work, but there's not a whole lot of vehicles in this world. Asset vehicles is what I'm talking about here, that is looked upon so friendly by the government as to let it be a tax shelter and something that you can pass down from generation to generation without having to necessarily liquidate it every time it transfers. And that means that you can build a legacy that's unbelievable, and just a school teacher can do it. I mean, and not saying just a school teacher, but you think about it, these people are making $40,000 a year, working 9 months out of the year full time, and they got 3 months off to do some side projects, and like they have the ability to. It's just a beautiful thing about owning property in the United States is you have the ability to change your life forever if you do it right. And it's not an industry that you have to be the absolute smartest, most brilliant guy ever. It's exactly what Cleto was saying was it's about having the knowledge, but then just taking action, just leaving yourself open for that kind of opportunity so that you can chase it. So those are some role models that I think about is just people that can take what their usual everyday life is and turn it into something that they'll change their families' lives for the rest of time. Potentially.
What do the rich people always say? It's the first million's the hardest to make.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's when you get like the most interesting stories.
Yeah.
I feel like for people who maybe already reached that level, that's kind of like, that's the interesting part.
Yeah.
Like once you make it to $1 million, whatever happens afterwards, it's like, we've all been there, done that. But how did you get there?
Yeah.
And so, staying interested, meeting these people, learning their stories.
Only 3 houses in today's median average is $1 million.
Yeah. And it's not always just about the money. It is just, it's the problem solving. Seeing that's what's more interesting about it for me, I would think, is like, because if you just view that as just a problem you can solve, how did they attack that? And that's what's interesting to me, is because everyone's got a different way of solving a problem.
Yep. Yeah. All right. Well, I think that's pretty much all my questions. I can't really think of anything else. I mean, I have all of your guys' must-dos on here. Things that you need to get done this next week.
We don't need to read those anymore.
No, we're fine. We know what we need to do.
Oh, so I guess I didn't. What do you guys? Solutions. I didn't ask this one. So here it is. Because I asked, what are your goals with real estate in the years to come? But where do you guys see yourself in, I don't know, should I say in 2 years or in 3 years in this business?
I'll take that one. Sky's the limit. So
sky's the limit.
Watch out.
What do you think? Do you think are you gonna be doing this full time? You guys, either one of you guys gonna do this?
Yeah.
You're gonna be full time.
I will be. 100%.
Quinn will be. Yeah. You think you'll be full time, Cleto?
Ooh, that's a nice goal to shoot for.
Yeah. Yeah. I think in 2 years, I think that'd be pretty amazing. Because there's absolutely no reason why in the real estate market in Montana you can't do more than 100,000 pretty easily. Yeah. If you have a pretty good goal set and everything. You're working the steps and all of that. And like the first 70,000 is what they're saying is that's where you get your most joy. When you're doing 70K a year, that is like,
It is tough to make this your only thing. You'll meet a lot of bartenders that are real estate agents.
Oh yeah, yeah,
You know,
a ton of them.
I talked to somebody in the service.
I was a waiter when I first got started.
Yeah, exactly. I talking to someone who's a waitress, and she said our joke is always, you go busboy, line cook, waitress, or maybe it was line cook, busboy, waitress, restaurant manager, real estate agent. That's the role of progression in that market,
dude. Yeah, that's kind of real, and it's kind of a little bit of a bummer, but I think if you have enough vision, you should be able to make that work. Yeah, you got to have the vision for real estate.
And we always joke that real estate agents get they put us right there with used car salesmen and lawyers about how much the consumer trusts us, and part of the problem is, not anyone can go out and get a real estate agent license, but it's an avenue open to anybody who wants to try.
Exactly.
And so you get a lot of people who do it. I mean, I talked to one of my friends, one of my good buddies, Lucas, and when I first got back into town, he was like, "What are you doing?" And I was like, I was already prepared for the joke. I was like, "Oh, I'm another one of those dirtbag realtors." And he's like, that is funny because he's like, I've probably know 10 kids in our friend group who have all this year
become real estate.
I'm a real estate agent. And he said, but 2 weeks later, I saw them back in the kitchen, like cooking. They quit. And you got to stick with it.
It's one of the most accessible, but it's probably one of the hardest things to do it.
Easy to learn, hard to master.
But the thing is, I feel like, though, again, it's something that you can go into and you can prove that you can do high ticket sales. Mm-hmm. And that's the biggest thing, is you having the discipline to manage your day in, day out, to only do this full time, to market yourself full time, and to figure out how to do it in a way that's not desperate, but like that you are like, you have an actual sustainable business, and then to not stop with that. Don't let yourself only be a real estate agent. Don't let yourself, it's an amazing thing to end. Like, a lot of people have made amazing careers and all of that stuff, but I truly feel like I want people to be able to realize their goals and not just be like, oh, I'm just a real estate agent. I want them to have the identity and like, you know what? I found out that one of the best assets ever in the world to manage is real estate. It seems to typically go up for the most part all the time. And, I never feel bad about selling people a piece of ground, because I know at least in 10 years, no matter what, it's going to be worth more what they bought it for. Yeah. So that's an exciting thing. Yeah. And it's just, I don't know, that's why I get excited about it. But
it was just kind of funny, flying back from, Florida, and I ran into a guy, and he's like, we got to talking. He mentioned, oh yeah, I got to fly back to Idaho. I got a couple of real estate deals I got to do. And then we got to talk, and he's like, yeah, he said, I was a diesel mechanic. And then I got my realtor's license, and then they were from Idaho. And now he had moved to Florida, and now he's actually doing real estate in Florida and still has deals in Idaho. He must have license both places, but dude, yeah, it was like, so this
changed his life, man.
This guy was a diesel mechanic. He just decided, I want to go into real estate. Yep. And then, so he did. Yep. And it's like, it doesn't matter what you did before. It's what are you doing now and going forward. And so that was pretty neat, and the guy was just salt of the earth, good guy, and good to visit with. And
you can go so many ways with it too. I mean, once you get done, or maybe you feel like you're a little bit burnt out with the transaction portion of it, which everyone should do. Everyone should do probably 30 or 40 transactions in their life, so that they just know what it's like to be able to deal with, work with people, and handle that kind of a situation. But man, you can go into flips, you can find your own deals, you can do your own investments, you can do your own apartments, you can do development, you can do commercial, you can do there's so many places you could go with this. There's a lot of guys that, in our business that they start out as realtors, but they eventually turn into property managers. They eventually turn into investment managers. Some guys go on to build REITs, which are just like a hedge fund for real estate management. I mean, you can go into some big stuff, some cool stuff. You can find investors and start putting together your own farm and ranch operation, and then they buy everything and you manage it, and you still sell real estate on the side, and you don't have the headache of owning that piece of ground. You're still going out and making deals on other stuff for your own stuff, Mm-hmm. And there's a lot of farmers and ranchers out there that there's no way they could start today in today's world if they don't have some outside money. Mm-hmm. And like, what better way to do it than go and handle that outside money? Like, your expertise is there. You just don't have the funding. So go be their agent and help them buy the stuff that they need. Right. They need a place to literally bury their money, like put it into an asset class that they know is going to stay stable for years to come. I mean, shoot, there's a lot of opportunity when you look at it like that. So, all right. Well, I think that pretty much covers it. I think we're good. Thanks, guys, for coming on. Thanks for stepping in here. I know it's going to be a little bit awkward. I was just figuring this stuff out, how we can make content, but this is how we got to stay top of mind. So hopefully we can have fun with it.
I know. I had a good time.
Great. Let's do it.
Learned some things. Yeah. Shared some knowledge. And I was probably off this mic for almost this whole deal.
Yeah, we'll see how your audios go. You're editing it, so.
Yeah, great.
But yeah, stay tuned for more videos. We're going to keep making the fun ones like we did, like you guys probably saw on the beginning of this one. And we're trying to make them better and make them more fun. And that's one of the best parts about our job is be able to do some of that stuff. And it seems to help with sales too. So we're in the marketing business. I think that when it comes to marketing, this team should have the absolute best marketing in town when it comes to being personable and showing off property. Yeah. I think that is hands down. That is what we're going to do. And then we're going to dominate this podcast space. We're going to dominate this video space. And eventually we'll get to the point where we can be one of the top producers in town. And that's the whole goal with this company is to get more and more traction so that we can be better and better. The more experience we get, the better we're going to be. People that handle resources well get more resources. So
the more we can help you.
The more we can help you. Yeah, the better we offer there. So if anybody has any questions for these guys, they want to get in touch, you'll see all of their information in the video. If not, I'll just tell you it now, I guess. You can reach Quinn at rosethornrealestate.com. Cleto is at Cleto at the Goggins Company. Quinn's kind of residential. He'll do some farm and ranch stuff too, probably eventually.
Ain't afraid of it.
But right. Cleto is definitely farm and ranch. And he'll do some residential too, I'm sure. But
I have to.
We do it all. We do it all.
So,
team players.
And so those are the emails for those guys. You can probably just look us up on the website. We're going to have some profiles put up there for these two. And that cat's out of the bag. You saw them in the video. Now you get to hear a little bit about them and what they do. So excited to get out there and get rocking and rolling. Anything else?
I think that's it.
All right.
That's a wrap.
Let's shut this down. I'm hungry for dinner.
All right.